turukumanya ngo nomwe wabarukuri yo mukibina HFDC kongabisha ba tayo office zabo ko muri Katonga we nabakamabe ningashi bariya bafonda barimo Dr. Kiza bese job hati we bintu biciriyo mbyongera ku muteganisa twareba umuroda aborembo rwa Kampreli yasorwago nabandi barimo Honorable Ibrahim Semujonganda rukugira ngo ebi bintu ebyanajya nankumbito twabyetegereza tshemeye ku bantu kore bitu kuno yo muri Katonga twarembaraga na People's Front for Freedom kibariyo mbabaga okweta ekibina no kucanga hangaho kandi sitiru kumanya ngo bundo baye bakirize byone birukwetengesubwa tuje kubantu reba rukujana cyo twaza ko mwaka ubwo 2026 ejo runje mwinaha mu nchereze mwakira turamutseho kandi standiche program ejo mu Denmark twakwakira
wewe ari mnonga moderator nyikiriza nkusime abo kumpezo umugisha kwija Revival TV ubwo no mu Rwanda bwo kubanza mu television eji so niteka kukisimba rahanga kandi nyikirize ntwara umugisha nibwo gumwe ntabarusiye bare ba Revival TV bagira ntumurire kurungi no manye bya Uganda wari bagwashisha no sime mbabazi
yes
mbwenu kuko wanyanjura amazina ganje n'abanyata Denmark Adios be no mugisha abe political activist
okay
it is true kaba good president wa Bishop Stuart University umwaka wa 2019 2020 abarna gumwe ni jona yasimba mu karuka youth member of parliament aba Western region tikarga mukurungi konke cyo tikirande mise kugumizamo n'intambara nko kunshikwa n'intambara akuba agende mpango terehare nerizo we bari munonga
abina twakwakira umwami Denmark tutandikiraho abo kuba abamwe nibebuza Denmark ariyo acebomo muri cyanga cyite cya burungerizo bambweno Denmark ari ingahe umuntu nakushanga ngahe umbwirobu rero tukabona kuganira nshonga nyinji
well abantu bayine kwebuza kandi bashyire kuba neare last year in 2024 kurugebera na bishatu byo kwa Mushanje I was arrested in Kisumu, Kenya. I was brought back here in Uganda charging n'umushango guhekera bantu muchome ku marebero igana Mushanje so nemanya ngo abantu abenji bakatwara ubwire batari kundeba but abamwe bakije bacumanye hinaberendi nangwa n'insima abanyambara benji bakije bandeba bantayira twaganira abintu basa kushaba bashaba abumba bazarhanga nargayo no beiro konkecho tichamane munonga ichamane munonga no kumanya turugire nkahi twahika nkahi kandi ntoza nkahi Uganda in history mpango
munonga
kandi history ejo niyo kwetegereza na munonga ntukira kujima misho tureba kirizoba kunga ko kwetegereza history ya Uganda ukamanya himwahika nikije kwanguhira kumanya aho kugirota ahimuri kuza na munonga umubyo butegeki yes abantu benji nakije kugira ngo ngo ibyo butegeki nyote imberemo ibyo butegeki biri buri hamwe hona
neho kubyava
tina ho kubyava idinya no kumukereziya no mukanisa ibyo butegeki bigize bita biryo kandi byetagisa konke cyangwa munonga mwabikora muta bacha kuja mwabizana muta because politics ni game
nakazana
mwaguzana muta no ikiriza ngo nyowe ngambe ni wogambe ningi ono ngo bari wagumana ugamba wenga mbwishikora ono ngo bari wagumana ugamba wenga ebyo kugamba bishikire nibitwaro misho twena nenga nibitwara yo baki barenganire see foronga twiningambara abantu benji ti Uganda haterima abantu babiri harimo abanyunyusi n'abanyunyuto so umurebe wa Revival TV ni wo moderator wa tera touch kurunje munonga no manya horo kugirota ahoro kugwa uriyo mbanyunyusi ningo mbanyunyuto mushikoro ryo mbanyunyutwa okozereki cyangwa munonga kurengo warwo mbunyunyutwa oboro so nico turumune turwana naco no bwambweno konka turuho kandi nitwara cyone cyo turi kubaska kureba ngo ihangari yazamo buringaniza riyazamo butebekana ubunyowe niwe ihangari nyowe niwe tuhena nabana beito bari kuje kugira bata kushemererwamo kandi bakaganyirwamo.
Yes. Wagamba abantu okwirwanaho no maybe utari comfortable omboyembezo kwaboroho ubundi nawe okugirira kakargayo abona nkwenda kubuza mu Denmark. Ntumanya ngo ryomwe ombamemba ababe bari mu kibine cya FDC noza kutugambira wo kirumu naro warigireyo konka ndiyo nindebera kintu cyo kwatanisa no kugirira karumu twabe turi yaho twareba ni kambete bakama bawe barimo Dr. Kiza Besije barimo engineer omroda borembo rwa Kampala yaso rwago nabandi uri kugira ngo twetegereze cyo bwembeze bwa engineer Patrick muri yato boy amwe n'umuhandiki mukuru Nanda Nathan Mafabi bwe nitwe ahabwo butekereze nshongeze umwahereze itukatize Katonga numwija kwatanisa mutano mwija kugira mutira karumwe imomwe nkamwamuroyi omukwebaga nsoko.
Well, you see, FDC has a long history. Kandi ekatandikwa aha musinjo gwinwe agenda eri kumanya. Agenda number 1 kurwanisa uburigwengusa. Agenda number 2 kuletaho uburinganiza. Agenda number 3 okuhindura obwebembezi kwiyaho obwebembezo bubi obwanakyemarira mukareto obwebembezo bugize buta oburungi. Niyo yaber main agenda ya FD. And you see, like I said, omukutandika abantu tibakingana. Kandi nangwa n'imiteekateekere yabo tekagireta tekashana. So hinabayihire enteekateeka yabo aha agenderiya bakateekateeka ngu agenda is a self satisfaction. Nizo agenda zo shekwana bagira bata ni barwanira. And people ninga abantu abatwemera kuratara ninga ni barebe nkora ya Dr. Kiza Besije.
Yes.
Right away kuruga kinana obwazo mu kishaka na President Museveni. Enkora yeye tiyo kweyigusya ng'omuntu. Kari yaberi yo kweyigusya ng'omuntu no bwabwiru karari mu government na jarata nakora. Kunka kajata okwiguta bagenzo banje batigusire okubaje bagenzo banje batarije nikije kureta hakabi. So nintekwa kurwana kure ngo abenji babaje then nabacha batakabireje bazomuhanda go kugira bata gokobaje. So the honorable Nathan Nanda Mafabi wa the Secretary General wa FDC na engineer Patrick Oboy amuriyati bo agenda yabe kije yatano na agenda yaba mu muritwe cyatureta twagera maraka abiri gatari kugira gatari kushana konke cyango munonga ati political parties no echango munonga ni main objective. You see, for long I've been telling people that political parties are just vehicles to make you rich people. Political parties cannot change the situation ya wembi ninge yanjembi nga zone zibasa kutuyamba kugira ngo tugire common understanding zitu housing zibenju then zituvuge zitware to kubintu jata netuza konka kiriya hariwe iwori yo mu political party ukurwana kurengwe mbere mbi wajirota wajiyo. So engineer Muriata and Nathan Nanda Mafabi, it is arranged. They were given a lot of money to disorganize the institution, and of which they successfully did. They disorganized the FDC because apparently nobwo ufutambromo karunda members ba FDC no shanga ngute bari nkoko babire bari 5 years ago. This and it did not only happen to FDC. It happened to even other political parties. Look at UPC, look at DP. Meaning that omuntu oliyo kwebembera bache abanyunyus ni wari kufiweringa ninga kateko murro umukora ningo mukoreto butabanguko mu bena byo butegeke. Because in most cases dictators tebakendaga organized institutions. They want institutions that has loopholes and issues. And indeed this works in favor of one person, the supreme leader of the other organized group of abanyunyus, not abanyunyutu. So, a lot of money came, disorganized the party. Eventually, abamutu wagira ngo turukuza gumanturwanira kintu kize kitari kutwara turukuza. Instead, because after all, Dr. Besije had established an office, a liberation office, Katonga. People's government offices Katonga. Twajangwa itwe nkora yitu burijo teri kutana munonga ne ya Dr. Kiza Besigye so twayambuka buseri Katonga
baza Katonga
twa establishing ngo twabera organized nambuye no bwahati turumune turi mu process yo registering a political party ya People's Front for Freedom.
Yes.
And the reason to registering a party ya People's Front for Freedom ni twikiriza ngo the majority ya Katonga common agenda yitu nizirisha tezana nakugambire kandi zindi kutekateka ngo twaba twatanise nitwije kushikiriza.
Okay. Yes. Aho umwami Denmark twabarebere already okugaruka yo kwanyu munajya nankombe twakirho ni ntegateka. Yes, tukareba na side of course ya engineer Patrick Amuri atoboy nawe yari defendinga kandi ari kwereza side yayo konka nyenda kubuza akibina cyanye cyo cy'umuryo mu baga no kitakabere kibina iwe noreba ncija kubatwara nkahika notekateka ngo mbwiro bo bucyo munongo twatsigaza abo kuba mwami Denmark turi mu mezi twakibara n'umwaka bo kubenko mibirabara na mukaga no mukashishi ekibine chikona numija kuba mwayitebekanise kuhikoko.
First of all, main agenda y'ekibina is liberation. Liberation is through very many ways. It can either be through elections or other forms. But most importantly,
yes,
agenda y'ekibina is to create a shelter for the young generation. Waba notera tocho mu political parties including NRM, you'll find that the young people have no space there. Watera tocho mu DP ukareba who are the leaders of DP, you'll find young people have no space there. Watera tocho mu UPC, you'll find no space for young people. So PFF agenda yayo mainly, yes, by God's grace baba to register injury, we shall participate in elections as PFF. If we are not registered, we shall definitely have try other means of participating in elections. But the main agenda no kuteka henju iri kuza kushieldinga ninge kaleta young minds kaleta generation into yona okuteka techera hamwe, because liberation is a process. It cannot be a one day event, one day activity. No, it is a process you build every day.
Yeah,
but how do you build time? You definitely have to be under certain umbrella. You definitely have to be with clear objectives. And the clear objectives that bring and unite people together sometimes being created and being formed under political parties. So, don't worry at all about when and how it will be formed. My concern is, am I playing my part as a member of PFF? Ndimuni nkore chinshi mekuwa ni nkora nka member wa PFF ninga oinenyikiriza etari kutana mnonga na ya retired kan Dr. Kiza Besigye. So nashanga ni nkorekishe kwa ni nkora definitely
ecyo mekuwa no koro mu Denmark ni ntekateka of course obutwantandika batagambira kugirira karumwe no ku okurgaye mwe no murundo gumwe mukagamba kinte kiri kuba kitari kugendaje already harimo kuriyana harimo butekerizana reba mu kibinde cya National Unity Platform ahito kureba Honorable Mathias Mpuga na timu ye nabo kwingana bariyo mbargaye nabo shayo nambija kuba mbatarangirira ikindi kibina already bayirukiro bonero bayibaganisemo FDC nicyo cyumwe ntekateka ngo aha kugumza mu mutakwatana soko omwami Denmark.
Yes,
mbasa butakika akimuru kwenda.
Well, you see, every house has its own issues. Just like you said, NUP, DP, FDC. And for us in FDC to win issues, we said, please, let's clean our house. And how do we clean our house? Is first of all, kwetegereza agenda ya team ya Najana Nkumbe neha. Agenda ya team ya Katonga neha. Kutuweza kumanya agenda zitu nizitana. We created a different house. Kandi enseji cyaro murigira ngo abantu abaturi ni 10 mwena muri kirezo mu kintu kimwe straight. It would definitely be hard. Nubwo kubayire NRM, the political party in the government. Na yine issues zayo.
Omwe kuba muzirwa kumwe.
Kandi ziri serious. Numwe kuba muzirwa kumwe. Ekiri kuyija kikareta ho maybe okwirarikira kwango mu bantu no kugira ngo sometimes issues ezo ndishobora. Kunke kiba kirungi because political parties are for the people. Why should you keep hiding such kind of issues? Portray them, show them. expose those who have a different agenda, let the public judge. The moment the public judge, nikija kubahereza umulingo gumwe go creating strategies of moving ahead. So disagreement, it is heresy. Ukugira ubatekerezingana, it is heresy. It is heresy. The most important thing is where are you going? Nagira issues ni unyonka gumezamo meisho ni kutambuza kwa ni ntambuza. Definitely nimbanyi no kwikiriza ngo at one point I will reach where I'm going.
Yes. Ahanshonga ya Dr. Kiza Besigye takaganira ahamenyeto kwejumbira mu politics mu Denmark. Turebere Dr. Kiza Besigye ari kuretwa mu koti izoberi yanyuma abaziyo ahantu mshango erukwe kutsa aha kwenda kuriya ihangari yabo orukwe nebindi ebyabagambirwa gwa nyuma yo kwatwa mu November umurembo rukuru rwa Nairobi umuyangeri ya Kenya uwe na Haji Obed Kamurege ya Rutare bari tumukot konka aramu enshonga ankebereze twenda ganiraho omutsibe asheme kuba natunga buringana zaci Dr. Kiza Besigye nubwo akomerwe twareba kucwa mu kwa kote kirezindi zone rukumanyoka Supreme Court yabene kurwa Chief Justice Alphonse Winyodoro erukushaba ngo Dr. Kiza Besigye arije umugeno ko tumasho na civilians bona bagarwa mu kote z'abantu baburijwe twareba cyatwara na process turebere Dr. Kiza Besigye amagaraje nago gari yaho gatari marungi tware cyandiko cha president ari kugira ngo ejo nenjara ari kikwesharinga no kurga kuriya agarcha kuriya nebindi ejo nsamari konka iwe side yawe neha no kigamba hoki yesterday tureberaho mu rembo rwambara iminyeto okurwo PFF barkwesharinga nabo okwesharinga kurungi okutari ko kushishe bintu barikwenda ngo Dr. Kiza Besigye ari kurwe kwatwa kwa Dr. Kiza Besigye no kugamba hoki
moderator kwatwa kwa Dr. Kiza Besigye umurinye ndakushasha mnonga kandi nintekateka it should be a lesson to all of us, whether you are yellow, whether you're blue, whether you're red, it should be a very, very, very big lesson. And I thank God nisimarhanga ngo kinte kibireho twakireba umwe bintu katuhura mu history ba Napoleon Bonaparte buhura utekateka ngo umuntu mu Uganda tubiri kubasa kwishe kuba. So Dr. Besigye and President Museveni being history ndingwa right away from 1980s,
yes,
up to date. On record they say Besigye is the most arrested person in Africa, and who arrests him? Definitely the party in power. And on record Tarumushango Guramusingire, it's on record to Guruho. But ekintu kitwegesa ki
kabanyayiganda
kitwegesa kinkabanyayiganda kitwegesa ngo politics zaitu za Uganda teziremu buringana za bona. To me amateka machagondo kumanyaho nintekateka Dr. Besigye should not even be here umukoti yita this at the moment ashekwa ari umukoti za Kenya hiba mukwatire hiya kurira imishango bari kugamba konka kugira ngo maybe abantu nibabene interests zitakwetegerezwa in as far as our politics are concerned. He was brought here bamuteko mu court martial of where he is a civilian and Haji Obed Kamurege bona n'abandi ba civilian. Supreme Court yakora ruling civilians bargengai court martial and of course Supreme Court kora ruling yayo nikibone kimayisa ngo Dr. Besigye and others at the moment bine mushango but they were kept in prison at one point because prison is an area bari kubeika away from other people and you have rights. For example, you have the right to access a meal of your choice, food,
akutunga ibyo kurya
yes akurugira emitendere n'amateka gaki ga prison muri ebyo tubari kwikiza meretekere but they can bring you food and prepare for yourself because I witnessed it myself but Dr. Besigye was denied food that he should eat the prison food, eat posho. Why? What is the logic behind me eating the posho while others have access for their food? It is where he chose to go for hunger strike. At one point, bichiriza baja mbona hatuhereza abantu bashatu baragumene bakuretera emere yo kujirota eyo rukwetaga yaba bahereza. At one point bagarika babinga abantu. So endera ya Dr. Besigye networka ngo anything can happen in Uganda. At one point Dr. Besigye, it is alleged and on record they say Dr. Besigye was a personal doctor to President Museveni. So if someone can choose to punish his former personal doctor, his comrade in the bush, the way he's punishing him today, how about you? Uri kuterenga just to casually state icyayiro.
Umwamideni makaga n'amateka abo kubana buyabe hari umushahuwe no bakozere kumukorwa mu 80s. Umunyayiganda we nayakoze umushango no nakubanzirwe newe konka mushango kakusinga. Amateka garuho ibiragiro biruho imishango y'iryo mukoti tarukoza na President Museveni.
Moderator, you a journalist. I want you to prove me wrong or right. Say since 1980 umushango kasinga Dr. Besigye. We are confident that even this one will just end. It is politics. It is politics. And you see, if at all Gariamateka, why is President Museveni concerned? Let the court do its work. Let the judiciary do its work. Supreme Court made its ruling. Why are you bothered? And you see, President Museveni akargo ya handik. But I'm surprised, I'm shocked by the decision of the Supreme Court. Who are you? Being a president of Uganda does not necessarily mean that you know the law. Let the people who studied the law play their part. So, this, there are things that requires us just to use logic to understand what is happening. The Supreme Court made its ruling over the matter of court-martial. President Museveni came and made his opinion. And he said we should not allow that. Even his son came and said we shall not allow that.
Chief of Defense Forces.
What's the logic behind? It is politics. It is politics. But remember what I told you from the beginning.
Yes.
As Ugandans, we must know where we have come from, where we have reached, and where we are going. The moment we understand that, we shall definitely define why Dr. Besigye is in the prison.
Yes. Mwamiden Denmark Adios tuchumwino studios Survival TV tuchirion tuongera ganira nawe nastera tochombe ntubyo butegeki okukira munonga ahanshonga zitari zumwe na zumwe twatandije kuri mu FDC twazo mu kibina cyabo ekibariyo mbahanga hono manya bariyo muri Katongo kono berekanze imirimo yabo tuje kuba tureba wiren buja kubashikira nari ntuje kureba mbacanga hangaho obundo bwiro burkwisha twagamba kwa Dr. Kiza Besigye imishango y'igicirino yongera kuranda kandi to nkabantu kahiriza judgment yitu nkabanya Uganda kureka tusheme kuba ntutera mutoci kandi twetegereza abintu bitarumwe na mwe tuzo break tugaruka nawe tuje kuba tuganira uwe nabandi nkemenye twabarigireyo bakagira ngunga hatushimbe kubantu ibibera turebire narga y'umunonga kandi ariko ibembera nibihe bar kurebe bashimbe kwamba hinduramo ahabwenje nikiye cyabagimesize kuzombiye butegeki umuyangari tori ya Uganda.
Revival TV, amagarum wijwire. ababanira CCTV cameras abari kushanga mu rurembo rwambarira bagarukana insurance ababanira ubwa hati bine card cameras ezikora ikirone ihangwe kandi zikureba uburingo bwa meters 20 nankaga alarm cameras smart hybrid 5 megapixels cameras PTZ cameras bine DVR na NVR eza 2 megapixels na 5 megapixels hard disks bine na za cameras zindi ziri kuzabikondo bya sora neby'amashanyarazi kandi cyo mutano kamera zikuzabikondo ziba zigituriweho wifi na internet bagigita simu yawe yo mu ngaro kandi ubwo rikosa memory card bine byo mebikumara senti hariyo wa bank sako nangwa no bwo bukwate motoka yawe wete tracking devices nibaburiyo bashanja office zabe nkuru ezikushanga mu rembo rwambarira wabanotaho mu gate ya bus park ninga hitaji rya Bersia umucombe ku cyaro kwa Gosenega na Amazon building opposite Stanbic Bank ninga shotere no tumushanju mukaga 88 nari no tumushanju 52 88 ejo nisaba banira urinde byawe nabawe Ninkwanjura bakugomye kubazira aba Dennis DO expert tailors abakugum kubazira suti ezabura muringo ezabashija nangwa neza bojo uyu no mukoro ninga no zinduka ijaba kupangisa suti ziri hamutindo eza checked ninga plain ahakabei karunji mununga kandi niye waba noenda kugura nibakora hoje mununga ahakabei karunji bine introduction suits African wear suits enkoba emparezo murembe eza gento na jean bino busatu burunji nabwa t-shirt burunji bwo rukujwara okashanko waruga America bine neckties nebindi birunji munonga mboni bashanje mu rurembo rwambarira ahal high street warga kizimbe cya Grand West Arcade ekikubo cyo kubanza ecyambarira bookshop room number ya 5 waza kwikaze bra crossing hihi na Besania sako okumenya bikukiraho terra director expert tailors dene sorisabo wishemwe hano tumushanju 5 mukaga ashatu nemwe 98 na renote mushanju 83 anana mukaga ashatu nina moto yabo I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me okurgomba Filipe shura yakana umushororongo 13 Utafirwa Revival TV.
The news on Revival TV. I am Abasa Anointed and here are the headlines.
Welcome to Little Lights, where learning about God is as fun as exciting.
And Jesus concluded, listen then if you have ears.
Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. It says, in the beginning God created heaven and earth.
Little Lights, neretere kigambo cyarhanga cyabamagaro muri twe.
The Gospel according to St. Luke chapter 2 starting from verse 1 up to verse 20. It states, at that time the Emperor Augustus ordered a census to be taken throughout the Roman Empire.
Uricwekom program weji nekitwegese birungi byo bukristayo tuhigwa kugira imico mirungi kandi abana bahwerwa kugira umutima wo gwijiro kukunda ruhanga.
If you have to choose a good reputation and great wealth, choose a good reputation.
Twegiteho burwa mukagashahibiriza kasheshe aha Revival TV amagarumbu yijwire
Nanye anti-guide Utafirwa.
Revival TV amagarumbu yijwire.
Yes, we are back to Adios, Denmark. Omwe umunyabutegetsi kandi umuntu uri kutera tocho munongo mbite by'ubutegetsi yanatugambira ibintu bingi munonga turuku haja nanshonga zitari zumwe na zumwe ubutwanziza kuzombreak konka ubudacikezi nce munonga zitwine ntwenda kwetegereza bonke minyeto akatandika kari by'ubutegetsi obundi nabasa kutugambira konka nyahi kumumanyira ahina murebere no buyabere guild president ningasho kwebembera beji umwitende chiriya Bishop Stewart University uko kuyarigire maze mataka shitamaga yagambira okuyabe narunda kwebembere mnyeto ya Western Uganda akarura ko kakanga mbwene ntwenda kumanya na hatariyo nagaraka ninga abirigiremu yankura tankanye ubundi nyoko birebera uko wabyesasire konko kushira munonga eminyeto ahabwenche these days intire barkwejumbira ombiye bwebembezi nakaruncha kariyo kandi biheba rukureba ngo bashimiye kuba bambaye yuko mu office zitari zumwe na zumwe okubiganira okano kureba ngo byatebwe mu nkoro mu Denmark twakwacira.
Well, you see, much as I have never supported President Museveni, there are things I've learned about him. And one of the quotation that I like most about him, it was made 1980. That every generation has got its mission to fulfill. Every generation has got its mission to fulfill. Buri mujiji buri murembe gwino murimo gwo gukora okwikiza ebigenderwa byago. And statement eje in message mpango mnonga. We were unlucky to some extent that we are born under this system. The system that whose interest is to suffocate the ideas of young people. That's very unfortunate. That we cannot be heard. Very unfortunate that we cannot be heard by this government as young people. Remember that the country at the moment, 70%, almost 70%, are young people. Young people, pure young people, 30 and below. But people who are making decisions for that generation are just like 10% and are above 70 years. Very unfortunate. But remember, the young people are 70%. 10% is making decisions of where this country should be. Very unfortunate. So, much as we do not find that opportunity kugira ngo bahurebe turi kugamba, niteko kugezaho kuguma dukore turi kubasa. Kureba ngo at one point ebituru kugamba basa kugira bata basa kubihura no kubyetegereza. In order to have a better country for all of us, both them and us, not only them. Out of 70% in Agambara, most of the younger people are vulnerable, very desperate. Just to move around town. Not because it's their choice, no. It's because that's what the system has created for them. That's how the system is designed. Young people are being pushed on the wall. So, not all of us we shall accept to dance their tunes, no. Some of us we shall choose to take a tough path. And that's the direction we have chosen now.
Eminyeto Yorugamba Denmark.
Yes.
Turibiri programs za government. Zero nka program ya Youth Livelihood Program no jumanya. Twariba eminyeto na yo kwabwa office tureba our home ministry mwambara nabandi okora anshonga zeminyeto.
How old is Baram?
Myaka ndubaso obutagenda mu munonga. Twariba haza ho bona bashome primary secondary abana batunga abana mbekireza bwo kushoma batunga ubugabe bwabo nintegateka ngo na government itenagirire munongo munyeto umwama Adios.
You see, maybe in after the point here we abona bashome both in US in USE and UPE. It was not a bad program, but its intention was okwimusia abantu kumanya okuhandika kumanya okushoma. I believe that 69% of the 70% of the young people in Uganda know those things, know how to write and how to read. That problem is solved now. Can we now understand why there is high level of unemployment and revise our education system? That is done. Secondly, you have talked of Youth Livelihood Fund. Let me tell you, it is just said, but go on the ground and understand how many young people have received that money. Few young people have received that money. They launch such programs. They tell you it is for young people, but young people will never get that money.
The implementers.
It ends in the hands of those old people, the same old people I'm just talking about. So it's not about actually it is intended. By the way, it is intended. The young people should be pushed on the wall so that they become vulnerable. When the other old people come seeking for bigger offices, they use you properly. Wait, we are going into 2026 elections. You see the key players in this election. Young people. Why? Because they are vulnerable. Even when they don't like you, they have nothing to do. They have nothing to do. Even when they don't like you, they have nothing to do. One, they're hungry. Two, they are vulnerable. Three, they are looking for how to survive.
Okwenda kubaho.
Hato umuntu uri kwenda kubaho tari kubasa kwesharira. No mukose cyo kugirota ecyo rukwenda. So byone byo rukureba nibo muyihango. Very intended. These educational programs we have. It is what we deserve.
Abantu kabarigiramo Adios.
And that's why the same people who designed those systems, UPE, USE, cannot take their children there. Their children are international schools to meet international standard. Ituratabani babakatera masinde UPE, USE. Ocheza, you cannot do anything. If we have many educated people, good engineers, good doctors, you just go to Katonga, here, Katonga Bridge, and see people who are working there. The Chinese. Hachika tuine ba engineer bashomereje, agwachintu tuza kwa turwana no kuleta ba China. Yet we have good engineers. Hachi katuina bashaho barungi. Why do we bother ourselves kuza kuronda abantu kubiya America na India kukoro marwaro gita? Why? It means our education system is lacking. If these programs are for the good cause and good purpose,
yes,
how comes that the members of parliament we have, the ministers we have, what's the reason? If they are of good cause, you see, some of these things need logic. They want to push you onto the wall. You keep vulnerable, keep begging them, then they choose a direction for you to take.
Honorable Amanyamushega obwahati ariona bakamukwatse umurimo kandi turebere na Angela reporter ya education policy review. Msitekateka ngo mshomereho yitu babaja approvingire cabinet gikirize mshomere eyuwana ugambo ubundi neje kuhindurwamo ne mwene bitebwa mu kurugira reporter eyitungire kurwa Amanyamushega.
Important things first. You see, what Honorable Amanyamushega is saying was said long time ago. And surely this issue is known. They know it. But there is saying and implementing. You know, the biggest problem we have in Uganda now with our leaders, by the way, they have chosen to be messengers of good news, not the right message. They just want to say something that you'll hear and feel okay. But which is not right. I don't know whether you understand the difference. There's something good and something right. Most of our leaders, abembezi bita bingi, nebekunda kugira ngo bagambe bintu ebibonire birabashemeza. We have reached and where we are going.
Omwami Denmark, twine obudakika nkabiri okuhendera program echa. Kigambo bibiri okuhendera program echa. Kigambo cyawe cyo kusegira abareba Revival TV na Denmark tumutegereza mukarura ke 2026 ariyo nijanari bwatananda kuba nabirebera nkaho.
Mukaruru niza kwijema. Ecyo nicyo kubanza. Niza kwesima Mbara State House. Antebe ya member of parliament. Akuba Mbara State House ni mwenkurire, ni mwenshomire, ni mwenzarirwe. So icyo mayisangwe bizu byayo ni imbyetegereza munonga. Nije kutana ho nabari yaboro kubuzo to bayita abantu bahabatanga hamiza akakujya atenda kwetegereza. Atkonke bizu byabone mumanya. Shi utamanya bakutahamezi ibizu byabone mumanya no byetegereza. Message yanjye yamahero muteka so program. Uvuga ngo abareba Revival TV mukunda rahanga. Akuba Bible ne tugira ngo buri kimwe kine ubutandikiro no buhendero. Mwe nembe yarambe murumu ninge yuturumu nayo neje kugereta neje kwaho. Abwa mane garahanga no bushoborozo. Nashemera umunonga wo bari kumpa umugisha ukumpostinga Revival TV. kandi nimpamya ngo bitwaganira bitu abantu babireba ubundi hinecyo bagira bata ikibayiyamo kunko no kuguma kandi no gumira mu mbabazo.
Yes, Denmark no twatwine msheje nkwatabuta inshonga nazihe nko kuziri ntuzagaruka kutaya isa abo kuba ubwenje ngo abantu wenda abantu nkaba twine kubejunisa kandi itonga revival media turoko balancinga party zone abo kuba ito twine kibina twine rubajoro turugweramo aba nabantu buri umwe narite nshongaze iwe cyawo kwa kuzitunda no kwa kuziseringa nuko ko kwija kuzugura ubundi kwarade bise ebyo nebiye konko kushira munonga no kureba ngo nshonga zabazirita kandi ukongera kugira ngo ibigambo nke Denmark byana tugambira yogere cyo wayigamo atirista hito atanchani mpamye ngo ine cyo wayiga mutwikirize tendera program eji nanda Anthony Mjungu baje na ino mwami job nka producer inkwendeza izo barunji.